Hello, hello, welcome in once again for our round 2 coverage of the Swiss rounds for Open Qualifiers 2 in the spring season 2024 NACL. We have Polestar facing off against ReluminateGG. Both teams loaded up onto the map, making it a lot easier for me because everyone's name is as it says on the screen. I do like that. We have some new faces that we haven't seen. Crucile here in the top lane. Haven't gotten to cover them, nor Shimmer on the Italy. Same with Papa. Exothy we've seen before, and same with Kafuu. This was back in the last Open Qualifiers. We got to see coverage of them. Then Shockey, KryRa, Reppy, Lunar, Just. We've seen all these players before. Reluminate the team as well. Have a lot of really good players. Like, just looking at that lineup, it's got to be scary for many teams to kind of see and be like, how are we going to deal with them? And I think this is going to be a team that easily could be one of the best teams or, sadly, one of the worst. It's just really dependent on how well they work as a unit. I think individually, they're all insanely talented. But sometimes when you have a lot of talent like that, it's how do they work as a team? And I haven't gotten to really see much coverage of them. That's the big thing, what I'm saying. So I'm hoping that it's going to be the latter, that they all work together. This is going to be a team that ends up surprising everyone, especially when they get to the bracket stage. I've gotten to talk to KryRa before at the EG Combine. This is a player that I know a lot of people, including Kelsey Moser, are looking towards being future talent, future jungle talent for North America. And I know they have that talent. That's what I want to see in this game. How are they going to battle up against Polestar here? How can they take over a lot of this game, especially because Italy, not something we often get to see these times around. That's a lot of poke drafted by Polestar in Italy. Ezreal, Karma, even Syndra. All this to set up a flank from Crucile on this Crocodile. Crucile, Crocodile. Heh, that's funny. A lot of it's going to be important for the side of Reluminate to dodge away from a lot of this. They have great engage, though. KryRa, Shockey, Just. All of them good setup for a good Orianna shockwave. Having Lunar as well, another way to toss someone in. I love this composition drafted by Reluminate. Always like compositions that are like this, that have really good team fight execution. One, as a play-by-play. Makes things a lot more fun. Poke comps, not as fun to watch, as a play-by-play. But you do get to see a lot more technical skill on display with that. Like when they look for the poke, how they look to siege, how they look to set up a lot of their vision control. Oh, though, Shockey, I don't think you wanted that one. Sorry, I got to do this to you. We got to do this to you. We're gonna watch this one. We're gonna look at this. Shockey, top lane, did not want to hop like that. Accidentally hopping on the head of Crucile. And just got easily killed off there. And Crucile's even like, what just happened there? Hello. Very unfortunate for Shockey there. He was trying to hop, I think, the other way and might have just misclicked. Tragic, tragic. And so that's going to give a little bit to this Renekton, where I usually even say that Renekton struggles in the Gnar matchups, depending on how the Gnar plays. Ooh, but a good side step there from Wind Becomes Lightning. KryRa not tagging that. But if you get an early kill here as Renekton, then suddenly you're going to be a monster against this Gnar. Now he's coming back into lanes, already getting some steel plate, plated caps there. Plated steel caps, there we go. Could really help out that top lane and make it even easier for Crucile to pilot to a lot of the poke that normally would be there from Shockey. A bit rough. So we're now look towards KryRa and their movements on the map and how to impact, since bot lane, pretty good shove here. It is difficult for a melee support to deal with the double range of an Ezreal Karma, and then you keep throwing in Shimmer into this bot lane. It understands that KryRa needs to make a play in the spot lane to really help him out. That's why jumping forward, the poke landing onto KryRa, continuing that with the exhaust. No escape there. Shimmer picks up the kill. Well, Justin Lunar tried to help out a little bit, but they got the root already. And look at that rotation for Papa. A lot of damage. Do they go for the Ren? Kafuu's going to be the one getting a lot of that attention on their face, waiting it out. Landing a spear, but not enough damage from that. Jump over the wall, gets the flash, but the pull back in with the dredge line. Now it's Shimmer's turn to be the one in the spotlight. One more auto attack. Lunar turning it around in a 2v4, making it a 1-for-1. Even if Reppy did show up at the end, it was more as moral support. Reppy will be tagged there by the Scatter of the Week. Papa at least getting some damage, but props out. This is what I was talking about. The mechanics on display from this Reluminate squad. Lunar doing a great job there. Poor KryRa just wanted to help out the bot lane. And Shimmer understanding that too. Perfect placement. The biggest thing is that Polestar did use a lot trying to kill KryRa. The exhaust, the flashes, the dashes, which overextended them. I think that was a great play from Lunar and Just with how much damage they actually got onto all 4 of the members there of Polestar. So that way, when Shimmer, way too aggressively, jumped over the wall thinking they could burst down Lunar, who had yet to flash. Simple flash away, chase down. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But unfortunately, it was only a 1-for-1. And with the fact that it was only a 1-for-1, the jungler was the one who died. KryRa didn't get enough time to set up on the map. Shimmer, even though Shimmer died too, does get back on the map. Realize the top lane with that play that they had gotten earlier, the solo kill by Crucile, that they could get themselves the first 3 Void Grubs. It is in trade of the Dragon. Shockey. There we go. I don't know why I was following Gnar there for so long. Oh, Shockey saw the ward, that's why. Okay. I was wondering why he was going for such a long walk back. You saw that Shimmer was topside on that Pixel Brush ward. It's so funny that they have the bush now, or the Pixel Brush, up on the top, by the top lane and the bot lane instead of being closer to the mid lane. Just so funny for me because how long Pixel Bushes had been that way. Nice attempt there from Just landing the dredge line. It is a little different with Nautilus too, the interaction against Ezreal. Because with Blitzcrank, if you actually have a really well-timed... Oh, okay, I see. I thought Shockwave was used by Reppy there. I'm like, what? It was clear out. No, understanding that there's not much to play around. 2.5 minutes, I think. Well, it's hard to tell with the bugged spectator. 2.5 minutes, I think, until the next set of Void Grubs spawn up. As well as almost 4 minutes for the next Dragon. You're not expecting any fight to happen anytime soon. So you're just using that to clear out the wave, get back, not lose too much. In fact, let's see really quick. Yeah, it probably was used on a cannon wave, so they didn't lose out on the cannon either. Just to get back into lane. Yeah, you're going to lose out on some stuff. Papa doing a good job of kind of punishing that. But the fact that you don't lose out on a cannon wave, right? Yeah, you didn't lose out on a cannon wave. Perfect. Understandable now. Understandable. It just took my brain a second. When you're sick and taking medicine to try to help with your cough, your brain doesn't always work the best. Thankfully, I haven't really had to cough during some of these recordings that I'm doing for these games. Crucile playing aggressively onto Shockey. Realizing the Gnar bar was filling up. Mega Gnar makes it difficult, especially even Mini Gnar. You can look at the chase that he has onto Crucile. That's also kind of why I like the Gnar matchup into Renekton normally. Ooh. Next flash over. Looking for Exothy. Even getting the depth charge, but the exhaust helping out a lot. But you needed to use that on a Lunar because that meant that everyone else could show up. Get all that damage on to Exothy so quickly. They bail out of that one. Clinical. Exothy didn't even flash nor, I think, dashed out of that one. So it's just well done across the board. Reluminate getting a free pick. Not like they're losing anything for it, too. Shimmer was too late to the party. Dragon doesn't spawn up for 2 more minutes. So got some time on the Void Grubs as well. So now with that kill, they can spend some of the gold, get back in time. Bot lane will be in a perfect position to contend against the dragon take that could have been there for Pulsefire. Good movements here. I'm expecting to see KryRa really put more attention around these Void Grubs. Especially as they are the composition that has better team fight. You don't want to let the Siege composition, the poke comp, get some of these Void Grubs. Because then it just gets really annoying. Because not only are you taking all this poke, but they're also still doing a lot of damage to the turrets. You can't ever get near them. But KryRa actually getting attacked there by Shimmer. A lot of poke from Kafuu. Has flash available, holding on to that for a long time, flashing, but Shimmer with the smite doesn't help out. Crescent Strike, they turn it around. KryRa, mwah, love that. This is what I was talking about, the mechanics on display from the players of Reluminate. Held on to that flash for so long. Now, sometimes as a caster, you know, we have all the information, we have the knowledge. It's like, okay, why aren't you flashing? You can flash, you have it. But right there, KryRa, so well done. Getting back, then putting up the Crescent Strike, because it also does give you at least a little bit of resistance as it gives you some damage, bonus damage to your challenged target. And then, that also means that Papa, if Papa flashed for a Unleashed Power, you're not going to die either. Now top lane, Shockey did have to flash, doesn't have the Gnar bar, still will survive, as KryRa back on the map already, ready to set up around Void Grubs, and they even have Reppy who had TP. Should be TPing back in, but it does seem that because Shockey had flash and doesn't have any stacks on the Gnar bar yet, you're actually going to forfeit control over the Void Grubs. I don't know if I like that as much. That's going to be the only problem I think I have here. I think they needed to put a bit more fight around the Void Grubs. 6 Void Grubs for a Siege composition. That's scary. Yes, you have a composition that I think pilots well into the poke comp if you're even or slightly ahead. Which, granted, they are ahead at the moment. And they are working on early dragon stacking. Let's see what rift we get. What gamble they got. Mountain. Ooh, actually. Ooh, they high rolled. They high rolled on this one. That is a good mountain, a good rift for Reluminate. If they can get Mountain Soul, that Siege, the poke, you could not have, like, only thing that would have been slightly better could have been Ocean. But I think Mountain's way better, especially with their composition being more of the we fight now comp. When they flip the switch, that's when they fight. They all go in as one. They all fight. Not letting the setup there be enabled for our poke comp here from Pulsar. So for Pulse, you gotta feel bad for them on that one. RNG not favoring them. And this means that they have to fight over these dragons. They cannot let them go. You can't. If they at least even get one, that delays the game enough that maybe gets them to those 2-item power spikes, especially for Exothy here. People always forget that Ezreal does scale really well into the game, especially with 2 or 3 items. Syndra, you know, how are we doing on our Syndra bucks here? 69. Okay, not the greatest still. Still working towards those, but you know it's only 13.5 minutes into the game. So getting 100, really the big milestone. 120, where they're all completed. So 50 off of that. And even Nidalee is really good late game with how much damage she can do, how much burst she has. I would expect it to be a Lich Bane second item. It depends. It depends. Probably Luden's companion into Lich. I don't know. Maybe a Horizon Focus. There's a lot you could do. Yeah, you know, now that I think about it, Horizon Focus. That's just such a broken item right now. That's probably going to be the first item here for Shimmer. Oh, though. Shimmer on the bottom half of the map. Not in a good placement to contend against. No, why do I keep saying that word? To battle against that Gerald take. So there's going to be the TB in the bot lane looking for Reppy, who clears out the minion waves really quickly. So hard. Get on top of this Orianna, and Shockey's TP might have been used to scare off the full dive. Now they pop the Eye in the Rift Herald. That's going to be a TP. Crucile going to be in the middle of 3, but they don't decide to go for it. They realize that Papa was on the other side with the Shimmer nearby 2. Do they want to look for the fight? Crucile disengage, depth charge, flash in with the talent strike onto Papa, who has to flash away the Crocodile. If Crucile in the middle with a lot of damage onto KryRa, that burns not enough. Shield just in time to save his life. Root will at least get on to Just, who takes a bit of a punch there. Has to be careful. The heal helps out. Shockwave, Reppy showing up, repping themselves as they are now taking down Pulse. They are all on the run. One more auto attack. Lunar will find the ace for Reluminate. Not my best play-by-play fight there. Trying not to like cough in the middle of team fights is not easy. But Reluminate, beautiful play, and Reppy, what a shockwave there. I think Just was like, I'm gonna die anyways. They're all on top of me. Please just shockwave. And Reppy's like, I got you. Your sacrifice will not be in vain. Huge ace for Reluminate. That's what I said. That's the power this composition has, is in these full-on team fights. Pulsar, I always want to call him Pulsefire, because, you know, Pulsefire skins. Pulsar, your strength is not in those fights. It is in poke. It is in chasing down. It is setting up siege and control around an area. If you're unable to do that, you saw the problem they have. They got a lot of damage. They are also very squishy. Crucile is going to be your true tank, and he's gotten the Sundered Sky, which is the typical item for Renekton, but it does mean that he's not that tanky. And he doesn't have Dominus up. Not really much you can do. Hell, I'd even argue that KryRa is going to be tankier than Crucile. Shockey about equal. Trinity Force there. Right about even. Reluminate now. 3,500 gold. Next dragon spawning 10 seconds away. I told you how important it is for Pulsar to deny that being taken. That is why they're setting up. They're already looking for it immediately on spawn. Even TPing in Papa in the bot lane. They understand how important this can be. TP comes in from Reppy. Exothy is on the other side. And all members are here ready for this skirmish. Let's see if we can do this. Yeah, we can. Could be a Hex Flash. That's going to be the dredge line on a Papa. Huge Shockwave taking out the equation of the first damage they have. And Shockey in the back line. Huge Gnar. There goes the support. Flash in as Crucile, the Crocodile. Yet again, it is the other side finding blood. 3 now dead from Pulsar. The Dragon secured for Reluminate. They are now at soul point potential. Wrong button. There we go. Spoiled it a little bit. Not bad, not bad. Haha. An observer tech at the same time as trying to cast. Reluminate looking real good in this game. Reppy and Lunar. Unkillable so far. 4-0 for Lunar, 3-0 for Reppy. Both with 6 assists as well. Pulsar though. Whew. That is the issue I have with this comp, right? There's a comp that needs to set up, needs poke. And whenever you face off against a composition that is all in, the moment they call a fight, it's all in. They all have to go together. And we saw right there, Just found the target, said, all right, we got the pull. Papo was the one who got pulled in by the dredge line. Depth charge onto Exothy on the other side to get rid of the Ezreal Shockwave to secure the kill onto Papa. So even when Unleashed Power came out, there were no balls stacked up. Couldn't get the extra damage. And speaking of which, I think, yeah, 92 stacks, not yet at the 100 stacks yet. Hasn't got the Cinder Bucks fully paid out in cash. As Crucile will get out of there. Oh, it was the first item Lichbane. Okay. Shimmer did go for the first item Lichbane. I was wondering if it was Lichbane or Horizon Focus. I actually would have understood Horizon Focus. Again, being more of a poke comp, but I think that Shimmer has read this play well. It's hard for them to actually set up a lot of this poke, especially when they're behind. So they have to be willing to fight, and they have to burst down Lunar. But Lunar having Terminus as the second item the extra resistances you get with that. Makes it so that Lunar, who would have normally had a target on their back, is going to be so much more difficult. It was already hard enough for them to get there, right? Who's going to jump on Lunar? Crucile? Well, then all 4 members, as we've seen from a lot of these fights, it's like a trap onto the Crocodile. They're not quite all Crocodile hunters there, and they're not Steve Irwin. It's the team around Steve Irwin that are ready to lock in the Crocodile and keep him at bay. So then where am I going with this? Like, so then they can film the content for Steve Irwin. But Steve Irwin also is just an incredible person who probably could do all that himself. What am I saying? Probably was the person doing it all by himself, and he had a team saying, "Oh, let us do it." And he's like, "Nah, you guys aren't going to do it as good as I can. It takes 5 of you. It takes 1 of me." Anyways, back on this game. Polestar. Now push back. Even Shockey there, getting a lot of trade onto Crucile. This is why I like that Gnar into the Renekton. The Renekton, you get an early kill, it'll be nice. You can kind of use that to pressure Gnar, but eventually Gnar's just going to get to that point where he's just annoying. And if you don't get that early kill, Gnar's annoying earlier. So no matter what, you're kind of just SOL in that top lane. And the bigger thing is having a Kalista on your team. Baron spawned up. Essentially having a second smite, so just moving over. That's going to be True Shot Barrage used. Getting a lot of information. Pull in with the dredge line. Using the depth charge on the other side. So the Kafuu is the one jumped on. This time, Shockey wanted to jump in like that for a killing spree. They've gotten rid of one of the members of Polestar. The rest of Reluminate going to peel back for the Baron. I don't know if you have any way to steal this out. They have the blue trinket that has been used. So they know the Baron has been started. They know that it is an area. Trying to go for the Gnar all over the wall. Crucile popping the dominance with the other side split up. A lot of damage onto Shimmer, but it's going to be Crucile taking the brunt of it as KryRa survived for so long. And Lunar getting all the spears on Exothy. Nice run, unstoppable out of this Kalista. And while they might not have gotten the Baron, they got the kills, and they forced off the members of Polestar. Ooh. Lunar, though, not caught shopping there. Okay, I'm not going to do that again. It's hard for me to focus, do observing, cast all while sick. We're just going to cast the games. We're just going to cast it. Now recalls in order. Dragon spawning in 10 seconds. Polestar not given the respect because Reluminate understand how important this Mountain Soul is for the team. The identity of Polestar collapses when there is a Mountain Soul on the other side. The resistances you gain from it, as well as just the shield. There's not even a threat, not even an inkling that there would be an attempted contest there from Polestar. So losing out on such a pivotal objective without even gaining control around the Baron buff, not even trying to go for the play, like maybe a miracle steal, and now forced out of the jungle just like as simply as that. This turret's going to be sieged, and it's a difficult one to defend. Crucile tried to dash onto Lunar. It takes way more damage for it. Barely got any onto Lunar. And all they have to do for Reluminate is wait for another minion wave. And that's going to crash it momentarily. So Polestar, it's difficult. When you're a poke comp and you fall behind, there's so little you can do. Your poke doesn't hurt. And even if you land it, well, even if you land it, if you don't land it at all, obviously doing nothing. And with these shields now, with the resistances from the Mountain Soul, I don't know what you do here as Polestar. Now they're trying to defend a tier 2 that is incredibly difficult to actually defend. That's actually why they're calling back the members. They're saying, all right, we can't really defend this. Look at that, Scout of the Week connected onto Shockey, did nothing. Got rid of the shield, that's it. So the turret will fall pretty simply. Reluminate collecting a bit more taxes here. So back off, then probably make a similar play on the top half of the map. You can even keep Shockey in the bot lane if they wanted to. Has that TP. More items are going to be purchased here. Really give some break points here. Ginsu's Rage Blade for Lunar. A full item above Exothy. I said before how Ezreal, 2-3 items. Good power spike. Yeah. That ain't going to do nothing here. You're way too far behind. Especially when Lunar has 3 items. One of them being Terminus. So any poke could be shrugged off pretty simply. The other one being Blade of the Rune King, so it could be healed up too. They spotted out Shimmer. You know, Kafuu's there as well. Exothy. They didn't realize Exothy was there. They don't really need to. They're just trying to set up a 3-1-1. So they can rotate around. Lunar, again. Kalista, how quickly she can take these. Having that second rend on the team. They're on it. Shockey is about to go Mega as well. This is a perfect time for them to TP in. Get the Gnar bar all filled up. And threaten that. As the members here of Polestar starting to move up at 50% onto the Baron. You got to make a play now. Here's going to be the TP. A little bit late. Depth charge onto Shimmer. Peeling back. No smite allowed in the pit. Secured easily by Reluminate. Exhaust used onto Shockey. Well, Crucile tries again in vain to get into the back line. And look how easily they cut him back. And they get the pull onto Kafuu to burst down the support. Flash in. Throwing right on top of Papa. Papa say night-night. Because it's 3 dead on Polestar. As KryRa tracing away the 2 remaining members of Polestar. Baron secured. Reluminate in the base. Shockey 4 levels over Exothy. Look at that damage he does with the help of the minions. Shimmer, you're going to take the same fate there. Neither of you can actually deal with Shockey here. And all the while, top lane inhibitor has been toppled. Minions are there. Crucile and Papa will be up soon. I think Reluminate, wisely so, going to back out of this one. See how cleanly these players are playing too. This is what I was wanting to see. That's why I said they could either be one of the greatest teams or they could fall apart. They all are insanely talented players, but it's how you synergize together. And we're seeing right now Reluminate really are coming together as a unit. I love the tension that they have when if they make a call, they all are focusing on that person. Where they have a good split where they're like, I got this person focused, you deal with these guys. It's looked really nice. Like in that last fight, seeing that Just was like, I got Shimmer, you focus on Crucile, keep kiting back for Reppy and Lunar. And then after Shimmer's already been dealt with, then bringing back in Just to get on top of Papa. Even I think Lunar flashed for that as well. Flashed forward just to get the Fate's Call to land. Now a Death Bush setup. Again, where's your damage? Polestar, you're way too far behind. Way too late for that kind of play. Getting a little bit onto KryRa, but they immediately engage. Crescent Strike, body blocking all the poke that you might have. Dashing away, looking for Shimmer. KryRa will fall, all the while Crucile was in the back line, kiting back. Lunar again will be unstoppable here. Was a trade of 1 for 1. But now that Shockey's joined the mix, gonna be a lot harder for Polestar as they are on the run, getting poked out and chased easily. Rampage for Shockey. This should be Reluminate taking this game. 4 strong, even if you got a little bit of clear there from Papa. So many minions pouring into the base. Polestar, unfortunately getting pulled in. Kafuu, the target. Ren once again, legendary Lunar. He's out into space with how fed he is now. And the game secured. Reluminate will take this and move to the 2-0 bracket in round 3 of the Swiss. But they want to pad the KDs a little bit before they go out, letting the Winions end the game. Execute onto Reppy. But the game is all that matters. Reluminate, take it.